I've had my say. Now, two people who are going to do nothing but agree for the next few minutes is Lucy Zelic, of course, who we know and love. We can read her in the Telegraph here on 2GB. See her sometimes here on Sky News. Lovely to see you, mate. Stephen Conroy, Labor to his bootstraps and always here to help Collingwood and all other things. But in the meantime, he does his best for the cause. The Go Pies, yeah. All right, let's talk here about what the world learnt this week. I wanted to take sort of 1 second step back where we're not doing breaking news wall to wall and talk about what has the world learnt this week. Now, we've certainly learned that the president, when he draws a line, he wants that line enforced. But also we've learned that when Iran ran off to Russia, essentially looking for their nearest big buddy to get involved in a fight, they went, no, go away. China was pretty quiet through all of it. Many of the Arab countries as well, silent at a time when you would have thought if it was ever time to step up, it was time to step up. So, Lucy, what did the world learn this week?
Oh, well, we learned that potential relationship, well, we know that the relationship exists, but that potential relationship for it to be something more than what is kind of really, in front of us now, it just isn't there. I'll be honest, I was very concerned. I mean, we're talking a lot about the conflict and the exchange of missiles, and it's been really awful to watch everything unfold in the Middle East. And this stretches back decades, let's be honest about that. This goes back well before October 7. But I genuinely had fear when there was news emerging that the foreign minister of Iran, Abbas Araghchi, when he was heading over to Moscow, I thought, wow, this is going to be interesting. And then the Strait of Hormuz, the potential to close that, how that would affect China, knowing that they are their biggest customer with respect to oil. I thought, are we on the precipice of World War III? Are we going to see these two global heavyweights drawn into this conflict now and exact their powers? But the fact of the matter is, Putin's already got his hands full.
Correct.
We know that with a war now in Ukraine that's approaching its fourth year. And Xi, for all of his might and power, he took a step back.
Well, and that's what I find interesting here, where again, Stephen, either you lived it, your parents lived it, or, frankly, like many people, millions who learn about it in school, basically, let's go World War I through, right? That there's an axis of this or a team of that or a collections, this idea that one attack on one triggers a whole collection of other things. Now, again, we're a couple of days into a ceasefire. No one's pretending that's it, it's all done, nothing to see here and nothing to see around the corner. But I think the thing the world's learnt in the past week is that maybe that concept of one domino automatically leads to another can't always be assumed to be the case. Now, that doesn't mean we all just say, oh, well, every man and woman for themselves. But Stephen, as a person who's way deeper into the world of defence than I am, what did you learn this week?
Well, I learned that once again, the master manipulator is, Putin. He needs to keep, Trump on side so that Trump keeps supporting him over the Ukraine. And he was prepared to risk nothing to upset Trump. So he dumped Iran in a heartbeat. But it wasn't that he said no to Iran, it was he put his own self-interest and his own desire to keep Trump not getting actively engaged in the Ukraine war, continuing to undermine Western Europe's attempts to help the Ukrainians. I thought that was the cleverest ploy of this week.
But does he actually have capacity, do you think, Stephen, to be able to go to war, given what he's already going through?
No,
the fact that he's feeling pretty depleted?
No, but the point being, he didn't want to risk his main theatre of war by opening up another theatre. Did he have the capacity? No.
Yeah.
I mean,
Can't.
No, there's no question that if the full weight of Europe and the full weight of the US decided it wanted to push Putin back to the original borders or back to the 2014 borders, they can do it. So this was a strategic call by him, not just oh my God, I've got no money, I've got no tanks, I've got no people left. Right. He's demonstrated he's prepared to throw just any amount of human lives at the Ukraine. So he could conceivably, be prepared to do that again. But I think it was a masterful manipulation of Trump.
Now, again, at the NATO meetings, which are taking place right now in the Netherlands, President Trump has had this to say, where basically he is doubling down, regardless of whether it is obliteration or has just set them back a few months. He's proud of what he did on Israel's behalf. And the Western world, a few nights ago, dropping those bombs, 14 of them, don't forget.
Israel came back yesterday. I was so proud of them because they came back. They went out because they felt there was a violation. And technically they were right, but it just wouldn't have worked out very well. And they brought the planes back.
And can I just get like a bumper sticker from both of you, because there's bigger and more important issues to discuss. But Stephen, as a person, and Lucy, of course, both of you have been in the public eye, but Stephen, in your relationship to politics, when you've been hammer, how many times have you wanted to go out and drop an F-bomb at a press conference? How many times did you want to do it? And are you like me where, okay, look, I don't want it all day, every day. It's a sometimes food, but let's not pretend it wasn't an awesome moment.
Yeah, look, it's just trivial. And the way the press are trying to play it up is just trivial. Everyone knows. I mean, you watch The West Wing, and I said to my daughter, who's suddenly discovered, and you watch it, and there's not ever one single swear word. It's like, seriously? Have they never been to a real office?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, good.
So, like, it's just complete pretense by whichever parts of the media are carrying it. Just move on.
Yeah, and again, it's this thing, Lucy, where again, we're not inviting and not wanting to recreate as much as I'd like to.
I'd love to. Have it up. What a brilliant moment. Come on, Stephen.
But what's wrong with a little pepper? A little pepper on the steak.
But do you know what? It was pepper. Extra hot sauce on a moment that really needed it. And you could see the frustration coming through because he's had a lot to deal with. And it showed another human element to him, another human side that we've always been very accustomed to when it comes to Trump, because he's always worn his heart on his sleeve.
Yeah.
I thought it was brilliant.